Hey everyone, and welcome to Film Trendings. In today's video, we'll be talking about the American TV reality show Pawn Stars and the scams on it that were planned so well that the golden and silver pawn shop owners almost got scammed. Number 1. One of the biggest scams was when a man named Davis came to the shop with 2 pole axes that he had bought in Germany. He claimed that they were 500 years old and wanted $7,000 for each. Now, he seemed pretty knowledgeable about what he had brought, but just to be on the safe side, the owners of the show called a weapons expert named Greg. Greg told them that although both axes were real, one from Austria and the other Italian, only the Austrian was meant to be used as a weapon, while the Italian was simply a decorative piece carved into the Victorian era. Corey refused to buy them after that. Number 2. Rick is a historic objects enthusiast, and it's not a secret. So there's one time in season 6 when a man brought the signatures of baseball great Shoeless Joe Jackson on a book. Rick immediately agreed to buy it. Even in his excitement, Rick had reservations that it might be fake, but he decided to go against his gut and bought the book because of his love for Joe Jackson. When his book expert Rebecca analyzed it, he was told that it was not only forged but quite a bad attempt at it, and he fell for it nonetheless. Number 3. Rick struck another gamble in the 5th season when he was brought a 19th century Wells Fargo strongbox, and he could not contain his excitement. After spending $450 on it, his dreams of getting a profit from it went down the drain when his experts told him it was one of the most fake items out there and called it a complete fantasy box. The seller had brought 2 balls and a chain set along with the box that he assumed were artifacts from the prisons of Yuma and Folsom, but Rick recognized those right away and refused to buy those. However, he did not notice the red flags when it came to the box, and that's why it ended up in a huge loss. Number 4. In season 14, a man came with a painting by Leroy Neiman called Happy Birthday, Mr. President, where Marilyn Monroe could be seen singing her song to President John F. Kennedy on his birthday bash. Corey decided to get it checked by his expert Chad before offering the customer a deal, and according to Chad, the highest retail price for the painting was $7,500. After a lot of negotiation, Corey agreed to pay $3,000 for it, which is still not an okay price, but because Corey claimed that framing in the painting and the other protocol would cost as much money, it was a horrible excuse, but the customer was okay with it. Although for the customer, $3,000 from $7,500 was a pretty disappointing deal. Number 5. In season 5, a man came in to give them Charles A. Lindbergh's personal briefcase. Charles was the first person who flew across the Atlantic and thus became pretty famous for it. The man, Mike, wanted to sell it for $85,000 because Lindbergh's belongings held a very high value in the market of artifacts. Having no solid documentation or verification or proof, Rick refused to buy it at any price. Rick's expert verified some parts of the story, but also said that Charles Augustus Lindbergh, the famous pilot, had the same name as his father, who was called Charles August Lindbergh. They assumed that it may belong to the father of the pilot and did not want to take a risk. Now, although the initials were the same for both father and son, unfortunately for Mike, it was not enough evidence to prove that the briefcase belonged to the son and not the father. Number 6. In season 5, a man brought a painting by the German artist Albert Dürer. Rick was sure that the piece was original, and at the time, his expert was busy and he could not come to have a look at it. So Rick took a gamble and decided to buy it. Although the customer asked for $2,000, Rick thought that it was worth a lot more and offered him $5,000 and ended up in a deal with $5,500. Later on, his expert claimed that the painting was actually worth $50,000 and way much more than he had paid the customer. Rick seemed to be knowing more about the painting than he let on, but he actually screwed his customer over by paying him over 25 times less than what he deserved. And that's all about some of the famous scams on the Pawn Stars, a gold and silver pawn shop where people bring their ancient artifacts. Do let us know in the comment section what you think about the video, how Corey and Rick deal with their customers, and like and share the video if you enjoy watching it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel too. We'll see you guys next time.